What is up, guys? Spring's close. That means baseball's right around the corner and the regular season starting at the end of March. And we're here to tell you a little bit about the content RunPureSports.com is going to be offering to our premium members. DC, we got a lot going on.
Absolutely. Baseball coming up. We're going to have everything you need here at Run Pure Sports. As you mentioned, webcasts, articles, core plays, statistical analysis, projections, all of it up on RunPureSports.com.
Come for the amazing plays. Listen to JT Hayes botch every single name. It's so much fun. Our team's been on a major heater in the NBA. We're going to carry on this momentum to the MLB season. Get on board right now. Sign up for a premium membership to RunPureSports.com. It's only $80 a month. $80 a month. Monthly access to our premium MLB content. All the other sports, golf, MMA. It's not just baseball during the summer, people. We got a lot going on. NBA still going on once baseball starts. For an extra $20 a month, you get the bet side. I'm telling you, add it. Joey Workby, we're just killing it on the baseball side. He's perfect during the World Series. What are you waiting for? Sign up today. Start running pure. What? What is up? It is something. We call this show like Swinging for the Fences or something. Who the hell knows? I'm just so excited that I haven't worked with my my bald friend in a long time, and I'm very excited about it. Hey, are you jealous? Huh? You jealous of this? What's up, JT? I haven't seen you in forever, pal.
Listen, so I'll answer your question to say no, I'm not jealous. The hair is the elixir of the devil, and This is how you know when you have someone who's a 96-year-old man in dog years that has hair like that. That's a psychopath. That's a psychopath. So I'm not jealous. I'm happy. I have, as you may have noticed, a perfectly shaped head. So it looks good on me. Looks good on me. Why are you wearing a hat? I will say, if I had hair like that, you would never catch me dead wearing a hat.
What did I tell you before we came on? Look at this.
I mean, are you too goddamn lazy to put a little gel in it? I mean, it's the people.
I'll tell you why. Because
watching,
oh my god,
people watching. Did you even shower today? How long have you been up?
Last night. What do I need a shower for?
I mean,
I went to the dispensary, did a show with Title, and came home.
Personal hygiene, a love of self. It's
JT,
good to see you. It's good to see
some of my body looks like your head, and I'll just say that. Now, listen, one other thing I must say to you. My ex is a psychopath. I'm not a psychopath. I'm just a happy, jolly person in a lot of pain. That's about it. That's all I can tell you right now. But wonderful to see you again, JT Hayes. Let's move on.
I'm so happy.
Let's move on to our happy member of the trio today, Draftcheat. How are you, Draftcheat? Missed you yesterday. What's going on?
Yeah, man, we missed you too. I'm doing well.
Doubt you did. Highly doubt you did.
Definitely did.
You made another bet with Title, didn't you?
We made two bets, 1-1. My guy Kyle Gibson was good for his price tag. I expected a little bit more, I got to be honest, but can't complain about 20 fantasy points for the cheapest pitcher on the slate, I suppose.
Great for his
but I have high
price tag,
expectations.
DC. Don't be humble. Don't be humble. He crushed it.
But he lost.
I'm not a humble man, so you don't need to accuse me of that. But you know, I have high expectations for my players that I tout on this show. So, 20 fantasy points, was all right. 3 strikeouts. That's not getting it done, Kyle. So we'll see. We'll see next time. See if we can do a little bit better today.
How was your bankroll versus Title? Did you come out ahead monetarily, behind, even? How did that work?
Yeah, so we made 2 bets. Kyle Gibson versus Woodruff. I won that. He won Bauer versus Kyle Gibson on a point per dollar basis. I believe he beat me 3.52 to 3.49 points per dollar there. So that was a close one. I think it came down to a single out. But he did beat me there. And then he also did beat me in our head-to-head challenge. So another PayPal to TitleTown. Oh. Never a fun afternoon send, but it is what it is.
I took yesterday off to hang out with my kids, and I shouldn't have, because I could have made some more money.
Yes.
Did you learn yet? Just don't bet with Title.
You're going to be.
Don't bet with Title. Don't do it right now. Don't do it right now. Just wait. I'll let you know the right time to pounce on title. Don't do it without my go-ahead, okay?
Oh, I'm not backing down from the TitleTown. I got to get those.
Oh my God, you're going to be broke by the end of this. All right, JT, just remember, you're watching the show, hit TitleTown up and make sure you're backing him 100% monetarily, because this guy hasn't learned yet. He's got to learn his lesson.
It's going to take a lot more than 2 slates for me to learn my lesson.
My. All right, let's do this. We got a good one coming on right now. Hope everybody's having a great day. Joey Work, I hate you, but you're a good prognosticator on the baseball side. He's in the chat today. Hopefully not giving out free winners, but he probably will, despite the fact that you have to pay to get his picks most of the time. And if you haven't checked out the bet side, I already got a couple of guys that DM me in our Discord. They say, hey man, I want to get the bet side. Get bets. So you make sure you get the Elite plus bets package. You'll get the bet side for free for a month. So you can check that out. Pick and 8 easy. Never spend time with your kids over DFS. You're a sick individual. That's all I can tell you. JT, you don't have kids, do you?
I have one. She's she just turned 22. So
so you don't. That's
she is. Yeah. She doesn't want to spend time with me right now.
Why?
Well, because she's 22 and
okay.
she's 22 and she's got college friends and all those things going on. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to tonight's slate. There's some nasty weather in Baltimore. So we got a 7-game slate. It might be a 6-gamer, but let's just go to the defiant DC first. The Burns bet he lost. He still did really well with Burns. Gibson he lost yesterday. Kind of a middling performance. So DC, let's go top shelf. Anyone from McCullers, Plesac, May, Rodon, Wheeler, Fleming, Morton. Any of those guys interest you tonight?
Yeah. Not Fleming. I don't know why Fleming is priced at 8.2K for the race here, but I think you could at least make a case for most of these guys at the top end. I don't see much at the bottom end, and on a little bit of a shorter slate, 7 games, maybe 6 if we get rained out in Baltimore. Kind of limited options throughout the slate, but especially at pitching, in my opinion. So 2 guys really do stand out to me here. It looks like a pretty straightforward day for pitching. JT, we did our podcast last night, and we both kind of came to the same conclusion that it doesn't seem like a day where we're going to get super fancy. So the 2 guys that I'm looking at, at the lowest end of your range there, Holden, Charlie Morton, where you cut it off, seems like somewhat of a no-brainer play to me. 7.6K taking on a Miami team. We saw his teammate, fellow right-hander Inoa, a couple days ago rack up 10 strikeouts. Morton's a much better pitcher skills-wise than Inoa is. They both throw from the right side, both have good breaking balls, have some velocity. So, yeah, I would play Morton here if he was the top price guy, right? We have McCullers at 9.9K. I would take Morton straight up fantasy points over McCullers. So that's an easy choice there for me. And then the other guy I really like is Dustin May at 9.4K. Had an outstanding first outing against Oakland. Gets a really bad Colorado team here who just is terrible in general, but especially away from Coors Field. May looked fantastic, throwing 101 mile per hour pitches all game long. And yeah, those 2 guys, I like to get cute when I can and play guys like Kyle Gibson as the cheapest pitchers on the board, but today doesn't look like one of those slates to me. So probably spending up for the most part at pitcher.
Okay. Very good. They're telling me not to correct your pronunciations, JT, but I absolutely will be doing so today. It's fun. I will also say this. I say this on the NBA show all the time. For some reason, when I work at the other place I work at, I say Lillard for Damian Lillard, and I've been corrected 2 times now. And they say, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "There's this guy at the other place at the
does he? Job." And I gotta ask. Does Dame Lillard come into Baskin Robbins?
I didn't get it.
I mean, you said the other place you work. I'm just assuming that you.
Oh, you said my sister worked at Baskin Robbins. Now you can't. I'm just throwing this out here for you. You can't.
That was good, JT. I like that.
It's bad. It's bad. Stay away from my sister, DC. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a little quicker on the uptake than Holden, so I got you.
Holden still doesn't realize what I just.
No, what you meant was I work at Baskin Robbins,
which there's nothing to be ashamed about, by the way. I mean,
I'm not ashamed,
especially in Colorado. What's the minimum wage in Colorado? It's one of those.
I have
states
no
where
idea,
it's like,
but I'd much rather be a male prostitute than work at. Yeah, I'd rather be a male prostitute.
You live in a warehouse with beautiful brick. All right. What'd you want to ask me?
I don't know. What were we talking about? No, so
you were saying you were going to not correct my pronunciation, which is right because you'd be wrong. I'm right. That's the way this goes.
So here's the deal. Let's go down to the lower price guys here. We got John Gray, who always seems to beat the Dodgers here in Denver, and then he goes to LA and gets completely rocked. Is there anybody at the bottom of the list, or do you just want to hop back up and start with Charlie Morton and go up?
Yeah, no, there's not. And you look here at the bottom, you've got Justin Dunn, who's got a nice, tasty 36% walk rate and an 83% contact rate. So we're going to say no to him. We've got a guy that I think we're going to attack tonight in, and by the way, this is the way you pronounce it, right? Because I have friends that are from Japan.
Jones?
Kohei Arihara, but he's got a 91% contact rate and a 5% strikeout rate. So I don't see anything. Nick Neidert, I think the Braves are going to absolutely shred him. So when DC and I did the pod, it was pretty clear. We think that McCullers is probably a little bit overpriced for this matchup here. And, Carlos Rodon looked real good first start, but he still has that 14% walk rate. And I think if he puts guys on like he did in Seattle, the Indians are going to make him pay for it. Doesn't mean I think they blow him up, but I just don't know if I want to pay that price for Rodon when I can basically spend the same money on Dustin May and go down to Morton in a great matchup against a right-handed heavy Marlins team that, listen, they scored 14 runs last night. That's not going to happen tonight. I think it's a good bounce back spot here for the Braves. There is one guy that's not popping that I know he's getting a lot of attention that I will take some chances with tonight, and that's Zach Wheeler. He's priced down on DraftKings 8-4. I'm not impressed with this Mets team. They will get hot at some point, but these teams did play a doubleheader yesterday. The first game went into extras. You're going to, one of the things that I look at on doubleheaders is, are we going to be seeing some tired legs here, especially earlier in the season? And I think Zach Wheeler has the stuff to put up a fairly good number here. So I'll be taking some chances on him. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. May Morton, mix in a little bit of Wheeler. That's probably it for me tonight.
So DC, we talked about Josh Fleming, and is there anybody down low you want to discuss, or can we just talk Fleming here?
Not really. I mean, if the weather looks okay, Justin Dunn would be the only guy that I would maybe consider at 6,100. He does have good stuff. Looked pretty bad his first outing, but I was interested in him at least a little bit coming into the season. Hard to play a guy after he walked 8 people in 4 innings, but I do think there's at least potential for a good game against Baltimore, but frankly, I don't see playing him. So he would be the only guy that I would even consider down there.
So here's the Fleming one. Oh, hit the like button too if you like what we're doing. I don't know how much longer we're going to do this for free if we're not getting 150 consistently. I'll tell you that much. So if you like this, we're not allowed to give anything away for likes. We can't do it. So if you like the show and you want it to stay free, 150, we'll do it. We're gonna need to keep it right up there though, and if not, we'll just do it for the subs. Anyways,
Holden, 56 likes with 244 watching. I think we should be quiet until we get 100.
What do you mean quiet? Like not say anything?
I think we should protest. I think we should protest.
Sit here in silence. I like it. Yeah, there we go.
You would just want to like talk and just have nothing come out and just be like,
I'm sure the viewership would go steadily upward.
Yeah, honestly, I rethought that because then I just have to stare at the two of you and let's just talk. Let's just talk it out.
Today.
Just talk it out.
What's that?
We had a question about the weather. You're in Georgia, so is it raining there? What's going on tonight?
No, there is a chance of rain here. There is a slight chance. I'll check the app here. It's not now. It was nice out earlier. I went for a nice run on my lunch break.
We don't care about that. I want to know the weather.
The viewers care. The viewers like to hear about my day.
I don't think
they like to hear about the exploits.
Does anybody care? Would you rather hear about DFS or JT's walk? Please let me know.
It was a run. It was a run, first of all. It was a run.
You just said it was a walk. What was it?
Very frustrating.
Thank you.
So it looks like some light rain around prior to first pitch, and then it's supposed to move out of the area. Then there's some that should come in later, much later at night. So first look, I think it's okay. We'll be keeping an eye on this, though. That's why you have to join and get into Discord, because we're going to be talking about weather. We're going to be talking about lineups. We're going to be talking about all those things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Fleming, DC. I'm looking at Fleming here. Throws a lot of strikes. I mean, he had his short outing, his short stint last year. Throws a lot of strikes, and that's basically. I saw he had some extra strikeouts this spring. I mean, it was more than a K per nine, but we didn't see it last year. So, are people going to be on him like just to be contrarian? I don't get it. Texas strikes out a lot.
Yeah, the matchup's certainly pretty awesome against Texas, but we saw them get to, a much better fellow lefty, his teammate Ryan Yarbrough yesterday. So, no, I don't see it with Fleming. I mean, he's been K per nine wise between 6 and 7 his entire minor league and major league career so far. So not a ton of strikeouts, gave up a lot of home runs last year and in his last stint in the minors in 2019 as well. So no, I don't see it with Fleming. I don't think he'll be popular, but I can't go there. I don't even know how long he's going to go in this game. He hasn't made his debut yet in 2021. So completely off the radar for me. I agree with JT. I think Zach Wheeler you could play. I much prefer Morton and May, but he's at least an option. And frankly, all those guys at the top, right? McCullers does have a good matchup too. He's got a lot of talent. He's got upside, no question. It's just a little bit too expensive for my taste. Plesac, fine, good pitcher. Again, 9,700 feels a little much for him. I just like Dustin May a lot more, frankly. And then Rodon kind of in between those guys, or in between Morton and Dustin May, rather. Yeah, I mean, another guy that does have upside, clearly. We saw it against Seattle, but Cleveland does have some guys that swing pretty well against lefties, like Jordan Luplow can't hit a right-handed pitcher to save his life, but he just kills lefties leading off tonight. So I don't especially love the matchup for Rodon in this particular game.
We'll get to the offense here just a sec. Picking ain't easy. How did Holden get from Pizza Hut delivery to hostess of these goats? Tell me, how did it happen, JT? Good talk. Love it. Thank
Muted.
you very much. Is he on mute or is he just
No, I'm not on mute. I'm not on mute. I was
just
thinking.
nothing to say?
Yeah, I didn't. I honestly don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer. How did you get here? Why don't you tell the people a little bit about your journey?
What journey?
Maybe whatever journey
Journey
you've been
to
on.
journey to RPS.
From 14-year-old at Hardee's drive-through to now hosting at RPS.
Yeah.
With
It's a part-time ice cream sommelier at Baskin Robbins.
Right. With a
And part-time host here at RPS.
And a 13-year run in Washington, D.C. as a sports talk and television host. So it's been an up and down ride.
I lived in D.C. for a while, and I don't remember you.
Yeah, well, I don't remember you either.
Would you say you were on TV? I mean, I watch sports all the time. I should remember you if you were in
with
D.C.
CBS, you probably didn't watch local news. And I did the Nats and the Orioles pregame, the pre-pregame.
Really?
Huh. Yeah. 30 minutes before it went right up to the pregame show.
All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're either blind or stupid. Which one is it?
I mean, I don't remember it. I don't remember seeing you.
Okay. Very good. I don't remember seeing you either.
Holden's talk of his glory days is like when I claimed to have been an all-state football player, but it was when I was a kicker.
That was my glory days was 4 years ago. It's coming back too, DC. Just wait, buddy. I'll be back. Run Pure's about to blow up.
I'm getting old, man. You better get going.
Place is about to blow up. I'm not as old as JT. I'll tell you that much. It's nice not being the old guy on the show. Anyways, what do I want to read here? There's so many things I can read. How about check out the Run Pure Sports podcast on Apple and Google Play, the MLB First Look podcast every morning with Draftcheat and a guest. Who's your guest tomorrow?
Oh, man. I don't know.
You don't even know? Yeah. It's the only reason I listen is for your guest.
Ooh, we got D-Rock tonight. That's going to be a good one.
Oh, then I'll listen. If we got D-Rock, I love that guy. Yeah. Draftcheat, would you like to start at catcher to break down what's happening here? What's the game plan at catcher? Can we pay up for Smith or Real Muto or even our boy Yermin Mercedes, the 28-year-old who is his luck is going to start running out pretty soon? Or are we going way down the chute?
I don't know if Mercedes luck is gonna run out. I don't particularly like him tonight though against Plesac. He's fine. I think if you're spending up at catcher, Real Muto looks like pretty obvious play to me. Not after the best start. He's actually been okay. But yeah, I mean, I just don't really think David Peterson's any good. So yeah, give me some Real Muto at 5,100 if you're spending up. I think that's a pretty viable strategy. because it does get pretty ugly in a hurry. Not unusual, of course, for catcher. Wilson Ramos has been on a fire, but again, don't love it against McCullers and the Astros. So, yeah, I think if you're spending up, Real Muto pretty clearly the top option for me. I don't see a ton of other great options. JT, you see anything else at catcher that you like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can look at Zunino in that Tampa Bay lineup. It depends. Do we have Travis d'Arnaud? Travis d'Arnaud
Sure.
is a pretty good spend up here tonight. And then I mean, Will Smith, right? And then that's pretty much the catcher pool. I mean, you mentioned Real Muto. The catchers in maybe Chance Sisco batting 7th at 3-4 if that game plays, possibly. So you got some options there.
Okay, but it looks like it might be a little different tonight, where we're actually spending up a catcher a little bit more.
I think with the pitching options, you're going to be able to afford your bigger bats, and you could certainly spend up at catcher. Yeah.
I'll mention one more guy, Jonah Heim from the Rangers. I've been impressed watching him play. This is just the 4th game that he's playing, but I've seen him hit some balls really hard. He's got home run, a couple doubles on the year. I think he's hitting 7th against Fleming. Again, not a pitcher that I'm super afraid to roster guys against. So, yeah, I'll throw Jonah Heim into the mix too at 3.8K there on DraftKings.
Bo Bichette just walked off against the Yankees. So the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 5-4. So can we go back here and just talk about a game real quick and a total offense? JT, I want to start with you against John Gray. So again, Gray's thrown well, and he threw well at Coors Field, but there is a history of him struggling at Dodger Stadium. Is this a matchup we want to pick on tonight with a great offense with the Dodgers against John Gray, or is there just better places to go?
So he's been really good to start the season. There's no question about it. And in particular, because those 2 starts were in Coors, where the last couple of years he hasn't been very good there. He hasn't been very good anywhere, to be honest. So I think DC was on him his last start. A lot of the guys here were. I was not. I think this is a spot where he comes back down to earth a little bit. 26% K rate, 11% walk rate. I think, a 207 BABIP against. So I'm not going to pitch anybody against this Dodgers team. We talked about that on the pod, and I will definitely have Dodgers in my lineups. I don't know if it's a spot where I'm looking to full stack. You can, because that bullpen is atrocious as well. But with their prices, I think it makes for a good mini stack, like a 3-player stack. If you want to go 4-3 or even 5-3 with one of the other teams, I think if you're trying to get Braves, then maybe you swap down and say, all right, I'll do a 3-3-2 and basically take your Braves, your Dodgers, and then 2 from one of these other teams, maybe the Rays, that are a little bit more affordable.
DC, you got any interest in attacking John Gray tonight?
Yeah, so I was on him a little bit last start against Arizona. He was just super cheap, and there weren't that many great pitching options on that day, if I recall correctly. He was good for sure if you rostered him. I'm just almost never going to roster a pitcher against the Dodgers outside of the very elite arms, maybe. But even then, I'd be hesitant. And also, even though he was pretty good in that last start, one of the reasons I was interested in John Gray, even though he was in Coors, one, of course, was the matchup against Arizona, who just hasn't been very good. And 2, his velocity was way up in that first start, but it did drop back down, lost a tick and a half on the fastball from his first start to his second start. And then you add going in, to face the best lineup in baseball. It's going to be a pretty easy pass for me on John Gray, of course. And then, I'll be back on the Dodgers. Was in on them yesterday. Been in on them pretty much every slate. Their offense is just so deep, so good that, even when they've been missing Bellinger, who's, it's hard. He might be their second or third best hitter, but
I know
all the Dodgers look like pretty good plays tonight.
Like Corey Seeger is just raking.
He's so good.
He finally hit a home run last night. And they got guys that continue to come up the pipeline. It's like 1 through 8, they can literally kill you at any position. Yep. And then they got guys coming off the bench. So, all right, we'll discuss the stacks a little bit later on. DC, let's stick with you here at first base. Do you pay up for Freeman tonight at 5-4, Muncy at 5-2? I think Rhys Hoskins facing Peterson is a nice matchup. I'm just going down.
Yeah.
any of those guys, and really just go through your whole pool. There's like a million first basemen out there tonight.
Yeah, starts with Freeman for me. Somewhat of a slow start for him. He does have, I think, 4 home runs, but beyond that, hasn't really done much at all. But the Braves have played a bunch of tough matchups to start off the year. So you've kind of seen Freeman, Ozzie Albies, really all their players outside of Ronald Acuna, who nobody can get out. Not hitting particularly well, but that's going to change soon. We're starting to see signs of it these last couple games. I'm not worried, about Freeman at all. I think he's just fine. Just had some bad batted ball luck. So yeah, he's my number one against Neidhart. Muncy, again, he's been fantastic. I see no reason to move away from him against John Gray. You mentioned Rhys Hoskins. I think he's a very, very good option as well. So yeah, those 3 guys at the top, I think are all great. I do rank them in the order that they are priced: Freeman, Muncy, Hoskins, and Freeman being the priority play at first base to me if you're spending up.
Okay, JT. Oh, by the way, Mangone stopped by. He said the only reason that you're here is for your stack of the day. So just don't give it, if you don't mind.
Mangone is talking smack about me?
No, I actually think he's talking shit about, or smack, since it's a free show. Me and DC is what he's saying. And he's just here for your play of the day.
Oh, okay. All right.
But still don't give it.
I get it. All right. We're not going to give it to it. You know what? We'll have Simon kick out Mangone when we're about to do the stacks.
Actually, we don't even have a rivalry anymore. We kind of made up. So
that's too bad.
You can give it to him. I don't even care.
All right. That's even better. That's even
First
better.
base. First base.
Yeah. I don't have, I will say there's only one guy that I would add to that list. Again, it's if this Baltimore game plays, and it's Jose Marmalejos. Jose Marmalejos hitting cleanup at 3.6 against Matt Harvey, who has a real problem with lefties, in particular lefties who have a little bit of power. He likes to give up the long ball. Well, he doesn't like to, but he does. And if that game plays and you're going to play some Mariners, you would want to focus on the left-handed bats there. In particular, Marmalejos is a guy that I would include in those stacks.
Okay. Very good. And we're done with first base. Like that was.
I'm glad you clarified there, JT. One of my pet peeves is this team likes to strike out. This player likes to give home runs. Like, no, they don't. That's literally not what they're trying to do. They don't like to do that. That's just what happens because they can't do the opposite of it. So
that's right. They hate it.
I appreciate you over there, big guy. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to him? Just say, do you like? Some guys like giving up home runs.
No pitcher likes giving up home runs. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you.
I mean, guys don't want the pressure of a no-hitter. They give up a home run early. Things are fine later on. Let's get off of this topic. I'm not going to win this argument, so I'm just going to bury it. JT, second base. Boy, there's a few guys. I think Gavin Lux under 4K on DraftKings is a guy I'll have. But we don't know if this Baltimore-Seattle game is going to play. But Ty France keeps popping. Like I was doing a Monkey Knife Fight show with Title earlier. And it was like, all there is Ty France. Is there any Ty France? Why do we have Ty France here? Why don't we just attack Neidhart and Harvey and Gray?
Well, I think, you're not going to play Ty France unless you're playing a Seattle stack, I think. He's not a guy that stands out to me as a one-off. He's at a price where if you're looking for a one-off at second base, you're either going to go up or you're going to go all the way down. That 4.2 isn't where I'm going to go. But I'll have some Seattle stacks in my lineups tonight if that game looks like it's going to play. And France will probably be included in that just because he's been hitting the ball well. I'm not worried at all about the Baltimore bullpen. But you're going game by game. I think Brandon Lau in Tampa against Ari Hara, who we talked about, 4.6 is a decent play. Ozzie Albies hit a bomb last night. He hit a home run last night. He hit another ball deep center field. Didn't get out, but it looks like putting him in that 5-hole has freed him up a little bit. He's getting better pitches to hit, and he did some damage last night. I think this is a good matchup for Albies. And then, we go to Lux at 3-9 in the 6th hole. Supposed to be down there. Lineup's not out yet. But, yeah, I think that wraps up second base for me as far as the interest I have in players.
All right, DC, is there any spend on options at second base? Like, where are we saving money tonight?
Yeah, I think a couple guys. Nick Solak hitting 6th for the Rangers against Fleming is a fine play. Again, he's not he doesn't have a ton of power. He's got some speed, so he can get you, a big game that way. But he's okay if you need one, if you need that savings. Same with Jeff McNeil. Again, we do like Wheeler some, and I'm not the biggest McNeil guy in the world. He's off to a slow start, so there's a number of factors that I don't love, but I think he's kind of the best of the bunch down in the low 3Ks, 3,300 on DraftKings if you want to go in that direction. I mean, like Jonathan Scope, I guess, is okay, but it's a thin position. There's a number of them that are pretty thin, but second base, maybe the worst of them. JT mentioned Ozzie Albies. Looks like he's coming around finally. I do prefer him when he's swinging from the right side for sure, but looks like he's feeling better. So I really do like this Braves stack. So if you're stacking the Braves, I think you got to include Ozzie Albies, right? So even if the matchup's not perfect because he's facing a righty, but yeah, he would be a top option. And I think Gavin Lux, kind of no matter where he's sitting in the lineup, but especially if he's at the top, would probably be my number one second base choice on DraftKings at least.
All right, we've gotten the second base position done. Read a couple of things from the chat here. Christopher Donaldson, who is the bald guy? I have no clue who this dude is. Who is JT Hayes?
Wow, that's hurtful.
That is, well, who is, first of all, is he someone, Holden, you tell me about whatever his name is. Is this someone who...
I'm going to actually ask him if he's a sub.
Yeah, he's definitely not a sub. He's not a sub.
Well, you don't know.
He's not. There's no way he's a sub. There's absolutely no way.
Will you tell him who you are?
You know what?
If I tell him who you are, it's not
let him find out. That's insulting. That's insulting. That's insulting and hurtful for him to say, "Who am I?" When we talked about it, I was on the pod with DC. I've been on NBA shows. I was on almost every MLB show with you last season, so he clearly wasn't here then.
Yeah.
You figure out who I am, buddy. You figure it out.
Ooh, that was a scolding if I've ever heard one. Very nice scolding. But,
well deserved. Well deserved.
I mean, you also got to understand, JT, we were doing those baseball shows last year. We probably didn't even have half of the subscribers we got this year. So that's the first thing. Second of all,
are you sticking up for this guy? Whose side are you on?
I don't know yet. And
all right, he says he can't afford it. So
no, I'm definitely on your side. Screw you, man.
Right.
If you can't afford it. I mean, are you kidding me? You can't afford $80 a month? Come on. You play DFS. What are you doing here? If you can't afford $80,
I'll tell you what you can do: cancel your internet, steal from your neighbor, and then you got your Run Pure Sports subscription. You'll make it back in like the first couple weeks. You're off to the races.
Yeah, and cancel your porn subscriptions. There's a lot of free stuff on the internet. There's no reason to have to pay for that either. So you listen to DC and me, Run Pure Sports.
Solved.
You don't need 9 subscriptions to OnlyFans. You really don't.
And then you use the code GetBets, and you'll get the bet side for a month, and you can make more money. Okay? Jeez. I mean, come on, guys. He's not Telly Savalas, Jay Reed.
Jay Reed.
90% of the people.
I know who Jay Reed is, and that is disrespectful, Jay Reed. Simon, we may have to kick Jay Reed out. We're gonna kick a bunch of people out. It's just they're kind of just one of those days. These guys, what are you doing? I mean, man, Jay Reed.
Yeah. Zach Williams said it. Imagine not knowing the bald god himself.
I mean, let's just move on. Let's talk baseball.
Definitely on your side.
I gotta get the better mojo going. We need to get in a better mood here.
Well, Uncle T says there's some bad mojo going on here. No, there's not, Uncle T. We got great mojo today. Are you kidding me? Look at this. JT, DC, me. How is there not great mojo today? Uncle T. Come on the show if you want to bring some good mojo show. Throw him a link. We don't care.
Love to have
we
him.
don't care what you say, but come on the show if you think it's bad mojo. Third base, DC. Boy, here's another position. I'm trying to find guys I can save on. Is there anybody at third base that I don't have to pay up for? Like, is Bohm the cheapest I could go at $4K? Yeah. Maybe Austin Riley. Ugh, this is gross.
Yeah, Bohm looks like a good play at 4K. The guy I really want to play is Kyle Seeger, but we'll see if that weather holds up. Again, JT mentioned it. Really love lefties against Harvey, especially in that park, and Seager's been fantastic to start the year. Riley, I think, is a very solid option. We haven't really mentioned any Rays yet, and I don't like their offense in general right now. Was part of the reason I was on Gibson yesterday. But I think Arihara is very, very bad, like extremely fringe, major league starting pitcher. So if I'm taking Rays, I'm probably going with the full stack, right? And if I'm doing that, certainly the guy hitting cleanup, Yandy Diaz, would be a guy that I would include. I don't, particularly like Yandy Diaz as a player, especially against right-handed pitching, but I do like the Rays stack in general. Just it's more of a play against Arihara than it is, that I like these Rays bats so much. So Yandy Diaz, 3,500, I think another guy that you could use, but certainly my top guy, the one I want to play here is Kyle Seeger. We'll have to see if the weather holds up in Baltimore to be able to do so.
Did one of you guys say Riley Reed? I have no idea if one of you said Riley Reed, but somebody in the chat said you said Riley Reed. So JT doesn't even know who that is. Do you? No. Third base, would you like to throw some recommendations out here?
Obviously, I heard that's Riley Reed's favorite position actually is third base. So
it's not a bad one to be in.
But yeah, we haven't talked about, it's a team that we haven't talked about anybody from, and they are priced up, but Michael Fulmer has been getting by on quite a bit of luck here in the early going this season. I think DC had mentioned on the pod that his velocity was the same thing with John Gray. Velocity was up and then it ticked down a bit. Alex Bregman is a guy that I don't know if a lot of people are going to play. The Astros were really very popular the last couple of nights. They disappointed for the most part, both of those nights. So don't mind going to Bregman here. And then, Justin Turner. I don't mind him as part of my Dodgers stack for sure.
Okay. All right. By the way, Christopher Donaldson, who made fun of you, says he only plays $5 single entries a day. That's not a big deal. No. That's fine. I don't care about your bankroll, man. You play $5 a day, that's fine. You get Run Pure Sports, maybe your bankroll goes up to $15 a day. I don't know. You just let me know. A Bella Danger would be a 10K player. Connor, settle down, buddy. You've obviously never seen a Bella Danger in person. It's a big difference, pal. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm so off the rails right now. Should have just stayed asleep and missed the show, but that's fine. We're doing what we can. Shortstop time. Shortstop, JT. Corey Seager. I just lock my man in and then not even worry about the rest of the position.
I mean, if you can, and you could definitely fit him tonight. He's 5'5", which actually isn't too bad for his price. But if we wanted to take a look at other guys on here, I just talked about the Astros and Correa. Other than that, I'm not paying that price for Joey Wendell. I will say Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for the Rangers has been really good to start off the season. He's a shortstop on DraftKings, 4-2 in the leadoff hole against Josh Fleming, and a bullpen that has been hit and miss early in the season. Tampa looked not so good in this series so far. So don't mind him if you have to go down to that price point.
Okay. DC, what's your pool here?
Yeah, I mean, Seager's obviously a priority play if you can fit him in. You can't do it on all lineups, but certainly the guy that I most want. I'll second the Kiner-Falefa play for the Rangers against Fleming. Hitting leadoff. He's got speed and then flashing some power this year. Kind of a little bit out of nowhere. Not sure exactly how sustainable it is, but his average exit velocity is way up. His hard hit percentage is way up. Barreling the ball pretty well. So, yeah, he looks like a pretty good play out of that leadoff spot. I think he'll go pretty low owned, especially compared to guys like Dansby Swanson and Francisco Lindor, who's priced in between. So he looks like a fairly sneaky play. I wouldn't mind that.
Real quick, DC. Let me just bring up Dansby Swanson real quick, because I've been watching a lot of the Braves. Been betting a lot of their team total overs lately, and man, he looks lost.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's striking out multiple times a game. He's taking strike 3 all the time. I know he's got a few doubles his last game, but he really hasn't shown the power either. I mean, it's just a guy, unless I'm rolling a Brave stack tonight, which I probably will anyways, to me, Swanson's just on the dead list. I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I can get that perspective. I do think he's a good hitter. I think it'll turn around for him sooner rather than later. But, if you want to, like I said, I do kind of prefer Kiner or Falefa over him, just straight up priced right next to each other. But yeah, I'm not worried about Swanson long term, but I understand the perspective, kind of wanting him to see something first, right, before you invest in him again.
Okay, very good. Did we finish the position? Are we done? Because I cut you off on Dansby Swanson. I really needed to talk about him, but we're at third base now, right? We did third. We did short.
Punt with Ronald Torres down at 2.4K, but man, he just has no power whatsoever. So if I'm making those true punt plays, I at least want a chance at just kind of a lucky home run, and he doesn't really have it.
When's Lindor going to get going too? That's the other guy.
He hasn't looked great, to be honest.
Start making that money. JT, there's a lot of Abella Danger talk in the chat. Can I interest you in some Ginger Lynn? Would you know who that is? See, now we're talking.
What are we talking about here, Holden?
1980s. You need to go. I mean, you're the only guy here that's older than me. Well, Uncle T and G Risen and you and then me. How do you not?
Is that the rundown here? Is that the rundown of age brackets?
Yeah, I think it's like we're in tier number 1. Like, who's gonna die first because of old age? We're in it.
Man, Holden, you need to learn to respect your elders a little bit.
I don't have many. That's the problem. It's like, screw them. You don't respect your elders. Every day I'm doing this show, you're saying something snarky.
I have all the respect in the world for Uncle T, AT over here. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
So while you were talking about all this, something is going on with the Astros, who are now currently placing all of their players on IL.
Oh yeah, they got COVID.
So there you go.
They got the COVID, man.
So most of their lineup, I just saw Altuve, Bregman, Jordan, all to IL within the last 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
So there may be 1 or 2 more as well.
So they got hit by the
Martin Maldonado, Bregman, Jordan, Altuve. Yeah. So
hold on.
Maybe I don't mind Michael Fulmer as much anymore.
Well, maybe we should bet the under in that game. I don't want to make like something irrational. Hey, Joey Work, you still in chat, buddy? What do you think, buddy? What do you think? Maybe bet a little under in this game? That's fascinating that we got. So are you going Fulmer now? Come on, you can't go Fulmer.
No, I don't need to, but if they're going to put out a AAA lineup, it makes me more interested in considering him as a punt. If I really want to do, let's say, a 4-4 of the Braves and the Dodgers, I think you can do that now, whereas I wouldn't have done that if they were rolling out their regular lineup.
Yeah, I think I gotta throw some money in this under 9. Like, seriously, the Astros offense has already been struggling.
Yeah, I would do that. Yep.
The Detroit stinks, right? I think I gotta hit that. Hopefully, yeah. The book. This is the other thing too. Like, you get on the bet side. This is why I say get bets. And none of the bets guys want to promote themselves, so I have to do it for them. This is why you get over there. You get in the Discord, you talk about it, or this is the bet that you make. And when you get news like this, you got to run to the sports book and you got to do it. Now, DFS, we get some time to react to this. So, Draftcheat, does this change anything for you?
I mean, maybe you could play Fulmer at this point. I'm still not super excited about it.
No.
We'll see what kind of lineup they rely on. But they did just lose their at least their 3 of their best hitters. So, I don't know. I'm still not going to do it with Fulmer. But, I think he could push up to 80 pitches. He's looked okay. JT and I did a little, kind of under the hood deep dive on him a little bit on the podcast last night, and it doesn't look super great. The results have been good. I don't think he's really going to be able to keep it up. So I'm probably still not going to Fulmer, but certainly a far better option than he was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Joey, Tigers plus 200 on the money line. First, they locked all of it. Second of all, they still got McCullers. But Thanks for answering the question. Okay. Well, they locked it. So good luck getting in there. But it's, you know what? Still plus 190 on the money line. Oh boy. That's interesting, Joey Work. Okay. No more of this bet stuff. We got to get back to the DFS side of things. So JT, I love Ronald Acuna every night. He's the number 1 guy. Like, I don't know how you keep him out of your lineup. He's multiple hits, stolen bases. He's doing everything right now. It's 6.1 against this Neidert clown. How do you not roster Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Yeah, I think he's probably the top outfield play tonight. I think right behind him is Marcell Ozuna. I think, and someone said the Braves are going to be popular. They should be popular.
Yeah.
I think them and the Rays should be popular, and you could find other ways to get a little bit different. I think pitching is going to be a little bit more spread out. I think here we're a little bit more concentrated than maybe some other places that might be looking to roster a Plesac or someone else. So, but I think it starts with the Braves. I think the Rays, I think Austin Meadows leading off at 4.8. Again, if this Seattle-Baltimore game plays on DraftKings, DJ Stewart in the 2-hole at 2.8. I mean, that's how you fit your Seegers and your Acuñas and all those guys. That's pretty decent play there. And, then of the other teams that I'm interested in, right? Is Betts going to be in the lineup? I saw he was in last night. He homered, right? So
yeah, I'd assume he'll be back in there. Yep.
Yeah. So Betts there. I don't have a lot of interest in the other outfielders there that are going to be hitting lower in the order. But yeah, I think that's, there's some other guys here. I mean, that you can certainly consider. I'm probably not going to be looking at anybody on Miami. Nomar Mazara is 2.1 again, hitting in the 4-hole for Detroit. He hit a homer last night. He actually went for, I think, 9-10x his price point last night. So I think McCullers, I think McCullers is a little bit overrated at this point in the year. I do think that there's a way that Detroit gets to him, and the bullpen behind him is just not very good. So I think he's overpriced, and I think it's a spot to take a couple of shots with some of these guys.
I mean, okay, Baddoo, that's DC's guy.
That's my guy.
He's been going nuts. Yeah,
everyone's trying to jump on the train. I was on this guy before the start of the season. So get in line, folks. Get in line.
Opening day, he talked about this. He talked about this guy opening day. I gotta give him.
I know, and it helped.
Give him credit. Yeah,
we won some money that day. But give me a little more Baddoo breakdown here. Is he part of the core? Where are we going with Baddoo tonight?
Yeah, 3,600. I mean, what more do you want from the guy? It's a home run every time he's in there, hitting 391. Fantastic power. 3 of his home runs have gone the opposite way, the other to dead center field. So we haven't even seen the pull power from him yet. Has strikeout issues, but he looks outstanding. So yeah, Baddoo, always a good play. I'm looking at a couple of these guys in the mid range. I think Joey Gallo left versus Fleming. Fleming not a big strikeout guy. That's obviously the big concern when you roster Gallo, but I'm not super worried about that against Fleming. So I do like Gallo. I think given the fact that he's facing a lefty, will hold his ownership down a little bit. I like McCutchen. Slow start for him, but I do like him against lefties in general, and certainly Peterson, one that I want to target. Plenty of guys up top, as always, at the outfield, usually a loaded position. Can't go wrong with Acuna or Betts or a Rosarena. These Rays outfielders are Rosarena, Austin Meadows. If you're stacking the Rays, rather, I think those guys you would certainly want in your lineup. So yeah, as always, bunch of options in the outfield.
Just to let you know, let's see, if we get 200 likes, we're actually doing pretty well today. We're 163. JT, you'll give out your Eiffel Tower play if we get to 200 likes. Are you cool with that?
Sure. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. You only got to get to 5 likes for me to give the edibles play of the day. DC with the Mom's Basement play of the day is 150. We hit that. 200, you get the Eiffel Tower play of the day. It's not a cheap price.
Oh,
No, it should be pricey. It should be pricey.
Right? 200 likes is the Eiffel Tower play. You're not going to change your mind on this either. Will you stay strong? Will you stay firm with this?
With what?
Like if we only get 199, you won't give the Eiffel Tower play.
I have no problem. Yeah.
That's why we like you.
We'll give it out in chat. We'll give it out in Discord, and that'll be where it is.
That'll be that. Love it. Okay. 26 more, you get the Eiffel Tower play of the day. 25 more, not going to count. Okay. Stacks time, gentlemen. We want to do a little stack action. Are the Braves just going to be the chalk? Could it be the Rays going up against Ariara? DC, how about your one top stack? What's the top stack of the night?
We got to choose one. I'm going with the Braves. I do anticipate them being popular, but I think they got the most upside.
JT?
Same.
Okay, so who's your secondary stacks here, DC? One or two of those?
Yeah, I'll throw the Rays back in the mix. Just don't have any faith in Arihara whatsoever to pitch well consistently. So the Rays, if the game plays in Baltimore, I like both sides of it, but in particular the Mariners side. Middle of that lineup looks really good to me. And then I'll throw in the Phillies as well against David Peterson, who I don't really think is any good. McCutchen, Hoskins, Realmuto, Bohm, Segura, and then got Harper in the middle of those guys too. So I think there are a number of ways you could go tonight.
Okay, very good. What do you got here, JT?
Yeah, I like the Rays as well. I like the Mariners definitely if that game plays. I don't think you can game stack and get to the top, quite honestly. That's how much faith I have that the Braves are going to put up a big number tonight. But and then a lot of these games in the Midwest, it's just the weather is kind of crappy. We've seen these 4-3 games, but I like the Dodgers again. So I would go to the Dodgers again as well tonight.
So, I mean, I just don't understand. This happened last night too. The Dodgers were sub 10% owned, like all their guys that I remember. Even Seager was like the highest owned at 10%. Yeah. We've seen Gray struggle against these guys in Dodger Stadium. I'm not a huge trends guy, but I've just seen it with my eyes too much. I don't understand how we're not talking about the Dodgers. Like you can stack any part of that lineup. And I think outside of Betts and Seager, who may have low teens ownership, I think you're getting everybody else in single digits. So JT, is just a total fade spot though on the Dodgers. Like, I don't know how I can fade the top offense in baseball at sub 10%.
No, I like the Dodgers. I think I'm definitely going to have the Dodgers. I'm going to try and get them with the Braves, like I said, either a 4-3 or a 3-3, something like that. And I mean, look, this bullpen, which has been worked over by them last night. They came in here a little bit exhausted from the weekend. So yeah, I'm not fading the Dodgers at all.
Okay. It is time now for the mom's basement play of the day. You're not getting JT's play. I'm telling you right now, there's no way we're getting to 200 picks to 200 likes. So Simon, what we'll do is we'll do DC's and then we'll get mine. And then if we're at 200 by then, we'll get JT's. If not, Mango's just going to have to ask JT in the Discord what that play is. So I'm not sure we're going to do it, but let's do it. Let's do it here, DC. Who is the I'm in my mom's basement play of the day?
Pitcher, I'm going with Charlie Morton, but with the backup, the number 1A, Dustin May. From a slate strategy perspective, this will be one where I'm kind of locking in on two pitchers, May and Morton, and then spreading stacks around. We've talked about 5 or 6 stacks that we like. So I think on different slates, sometimes it's one offense that I'm focused on, and there'll be 5 or 6 pitchers that I want to mix in. Today's the opposite. I want a bunch of stacks, and I'm going with Morton and May. Have a lot of faith in both of those guys tonight to deliver strong performances. And then for the hitter, mom's basement hitter of the day, man, I have to go back to Akil Baddoo. I feel no reason to go anywhere else. Still hitting 7th. He's got to move his way up the lineup at some point, but let's take advantage while he's down there for now, because nobody wants to play him. Nobody wants to play him against Lance McCullers, but I'm not super worried about that matchup for the GOAT Akil Baddoo, 3,600 on DraftKings, climbing his way up. I think on FanDuel he's up to the incredible price tag of 3,100. I can still afford him over there as well.
All right, so the edibles play of the day. Now, I saw this picture yesterday, and it had like me drinking a beer. I don't drink alcohol. So, Simon, I don't know what we're doing here with the beer thing. No alcohol.
Me and JT do.
Huh?
Me and JT drink alcohol. We're beer guys.
Yeah, but this is the edibles play of the day, not the mom's basement.
I'm just saying.
Play of the day, not the Eiffel Tower.
And the beer drinkers out there.
So I got 2 guys I want to go to here. JT, who should I go with? Is Corey Seeger just too chalky, and Adam Duvall? Adam Duvall just the last 2 nights has been amazing. He's made us money. I had a crappy lineup last night. Adam Duvall went off and I cashed. Got lucky there. Do I go Duvall or Corey Seager tonight? I can't make up my mind.
Well, I will say this. If you're playing last night's slate, Holden, you pick Duvall.
Okay, I'll go with Duvall then. You don't like him tonight against Morton?
I always fade guys that go off like that, and
But that's two nights.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just
I'm going Seeger then. I know. I mean, I'll just go any Dodger in the lineup tonight. You can go May on the mound. You can go Seager. You can go. Just go anywhere with the Dodgers. Just throw the Dodgers out there and fine. You want to give me the Dodgers? You want to give me their 4, 5, and 6 hitters at 8%? I'll take it.
Sure.
No problem with that. And we got to the Eiffel Tower play of the day. How did you come up with that name, by the way? Because what that is it's a sexual thing with two.
It's not. It's the most beautiful landmark in Europe. It's the most beautiful landmark in the country of France.
Not
the
America.
People who gave us the Statue of Liberty, Holden. Do you know anything about?
They give up
history?
on things all the time over there.
Learn your history, Holden. Come on.
Well, listen.
Go to
I want
France.
it to be one thing.
Get some culture in your life.
Yeah, it'd be giving a high five to your buddy. So go on.
Simon came up with the name. I think the Eiffel Tower is beautiful. I've seen pictures of it. It's this wonderful landmark. It lights up at night. It's beautiful.
The Eiffel Tower or the girl that's getting Eiffel Tower?
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Okay, so go on. What's your Eiffel Tower play of the day?
Are we giving it? Are we giving it out?
Yeah, we got the 204.
Right.
Now, listen, they didn't want to. This it. We got JT on here. If he's giving the Eiffel Tower play of the day, they know they got to hit that like button. They know they got to hit that.
And now I feel pressure. So let me do this first because someone brought this up in chat, asking about your guy Duval, and they said any love for Duval tonight. Someone's going to go right back to him. Here's the thing. First of all, I laughed and cried at the same time when I saw that in his last at bat, they threw him another low slider that he immediately hit out of the park. This team should know better than to do that. And I think they're absolutely going to correct that tonight. I think you're not going to see anything down there from Morton. And I just think they're going to be able to get him out and they're not going to have the same run scoring opportunities. So I do think Duval is a play that I would stay away from tonight, as I would any Marlin, to be quite honest. On this slate in this matchup, I just think it's a night where the Braves are going to do much better.
So is that your play of the day to not play Duval? Is that the Eiffel Tower?
No, the people are asking, Holden, and I want to explain.
Okay.
DC, what do you think
about Duval?
Yeah,
you won't find any Marlins in my lineups. No, not a single Marlin tonight.
They did make a nice adjustment last night. They couldn't hit a fastball against Inoa. So they decided to say, hey, let's sit on the breaking stuff of Max Fried, and the guy hurt his hamstring. So settle down on the Marlins offense. But yes, JT, what is the Eiffel Tower play of the day?
So I'm going to stay with the Braves. I think that, I don't know, is a Brave too popular? Do I have to go somewhere else?
I took a Dodger. I mean, That's should true. Always be popular. Who's your Brave? Who's your Braves play of the night?
I'm going to go back to Ozzie. I think Ozzie looked good last night. I think he's going to have more opportunity in that 5-hole. And let's go with Ozzie tonight. I like the whole team. I'm not going to give you Freddie because Freddie's going to be one of the more popular players on the slate, but go with Ozzie.
I like that. Do we have the Astros lineup come out yet? No, I haven't seen it. Somebody saying, yeah, there we go.
Oh,
here's the Astros lineup, guys. Let's talk about this. I'm glad it came before the end of the show. Miles Straw, Aledmys Diaz, Michael Brantley, Yuli Gurriel, Kyle Tucker. I mean, Carlos Correa can't even get out of the 6-hole with this dog crap lineup. Abraham Toro, Ronnie Dawson, and Jason Castro. JT, you're not really going Fulmer, though, are you?
No, I wasn't going to Fulmer, but I said, depending on the lineup, you could consider it because they're missing 3 of their most important pieces. But you don't need to because you don't need that salary. You're going to, at least DC and I, pretty much our 3 guys are going to be Morton, May, and if I had a pitcher play of the night, I'm going to have a little bit of, it's Zach Wheeler. I think he's going to put up a big number against this Mets team tonight. But with this line, I mean, Jason Castro, I wish he was less than 4.6 on DraftKings and not hitting 9th because it's a real good spot for him. It's a guy that can hit pretty well. And Fulmer, like I said, I think he will come back down to earth. But it's a question of what you expect out of this lineup. They still have Brantley, still have Tucker, still have Yuli and Correa. So it's not as powerful, but you're also not facing Jacob deGrom tonight.
It also seems like everybody's just making this a 6-game slate on top of it. They're like, Baltimore and the Mariners is done. It's not official yet though.
I don't think they're going to play there.
Yeah, and we'll just avoid. But I'll tell you this much: if they figure out how to get it in, and you come up with a lineup, you'll have a little bit of an advantage leverage-wise. But it's really not worth it at this point, I don't think. All right, guys. So remember, if you haven't signed up, even if you play $5 single entry like I do in NBA, still get bets. You get the Elite Run Pure Sports DFS side plus the bet side for 1 free month. Okay. And that's about it, really. No Plesac love. Daryl Hodgkin saying, why don't you guys like Plesac? DC, why don't you like Plesac tonight?
He's fine. I just like Dustin May and Charlie Morton better, frankly. So tougher matchup for those guys. And I just don't think Plesac is the same level of pitcher that Morton and May are is the bigger factor there.
What about you, Mr. Big T?
I just have a hard time with that price point tonight in that matchup. I think there's more value tonight with Morton and May, to be honest. Dave Roberts has been letting his guys go a little bit longer, especially when they're pitching well. And the Rockies should really not give a ton of resistance there.
Okay. Richard, we just did our stacks. So go back, hit rewind when this is over, and you can find it. And outside of that, it was wonderful seeing JT again. Gave me a lot of crap, but, I'm fine with that. We're pals. We can do that. DC, it was what it was,
Is what it is. Absolutely.
It will be what it will be.
There you go.
So we got the Wood Show coming up right after us, right? For the NBA. I know Title is very excited about being on the Wood Show. And then you can always watch me and JSU leading up to lock on the NBA side 45 minutes before the slate locks. Any day, well, Monday through Friday is when me and him do it. Monday through Friday, 45 minutes before the slate locks. JSU will be taking your questions right up to lock. One of the best DFS players is NBA, MLB, NFL, those three. He's one of the best in the world, and I have no problem admitting that. And I love working with the guy, even though I hate him. So I hate all of you. I love all you, but I hate it. Well. So JT, good to see you, pal. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful night. What do you got on tap? Little Ginger Lynn movies, Dr. Ginger?
You're gonna watch a little baseball, a little basketball, and then it's good. I want to let the people know that if it's not Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they can catch you with the best moms.
With the what? The best moms?
Yeah, that's it.
That'd be great. I have no problem. It could be moms, they could, whatever grandmas. I don't care. Well, I got to be worried about DC. How about you? What do you think? Grandmothers, moms, just single ladies? What's your preference these days?
I think I'm going to be taking a little break from baseball tonight. Watch maybe a French film featuring the Eiffel Tower on film. Could be a good show. Yeah, I like the foreign films. I'm a big film guy, big film buff over here. I like to read subtitles.
All right,
subtitles or no?
We're done.
I'm
Simon,
a subtitles guy. Absolutely.
Cut the show. Get us off here, Simon. We're done. Keep running.